Hi, I'm Paul from Dalkeith Citizens Advice Bureau and the Aspiring Communities Project. Today I'm going to show you how to make a basic tomato sauce that you can use with chicken, pasta or mince. The bought stuff from a supermarket, leading brand, it would shock you to realise how much sugar is contained in this. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sugar cubes contained in this bolognese sauce. So these are my main ingredients. We're going to add no sugar at all. So I've got 2 sticks of celery, some leftover peppers, 2 large onions, some dried basil, a wee drop olive oil or vegetable oil, 4 cans of chopped tomatoes. So let's get cooking. Okay, I've got a pan on the heat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in about a tablespoonful of oil or vegetable oil. That should be enough. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in the onion, the peppers, celery and carrots. I'm using carrots, I didn't mention them before, but you can use carrots in it because I'm going to make mine's a blended sauce, so the carrots give it a sweetness. So we're just going to saute all of these vegetables in the one pan. So under the carrots, the onion, the celery, and that was 2 sticks of celery. Some of the leftover peppers, and they also give you a sweetness as well. So the objective for this is not adding sugar. Okay, so we're just going to saute them off until they're soft. So just keep them moving around the pan. Add your garlic later after everything's been sauteed because it burns if you start to fry it. So I'm going to cook this for about 5 minutes. Okay, this has been cooking for 5 minutes now, and what I'm going to do is add in the garlic. The reason being it won't burn. So look at the vegetables. You've actually got 5 a day in one pot. You've got the celery, carrot, onion, peppers and the tomatoes. So when I mean blending your sauce, kids won't know that there's all these vegetables in it. I remember my kids used to pick out certain vegetables, they wouldn't eat them, but because they're hidden in this sauce, it's an ideal way to get vitamins and vegetables into your kids' meals. So I'm going to cook this for another 30 seconds and then we can then add the other ingredients. Okay, that's all cooked nicely now. So what I'm going to add in now, my 4 tins of chopped or plum tomatoes is absolutely fine, and just add that into your vegetables. And give it a good mix. The way that you saute your vegetables actually brings out a natural sweetness in your vegetables, and it also adds to the flavour. If you're just putting them straight in and boiling them up, it defeats the purpose really. You know, frying them off for a little bit, sauteing them does release a lot of flavour. So you can see the amount of volume that we've got in here. So what I'm going to do now is add in my herbs, which is the herbs that we used. So just fire that in. And I've just a half a teaspoon of salt and a half teaspoon of pepper. And then just stir all that in. So we're putting in herbs. I mean, I've put in basil, but you can put in things like Italian seasoning, or you can just leave out you know, herbs at all. I use 4 cloves of garlic, so you can add as much garlic as you like. I like mine's quite garlicky. So that looks as if it's ready now. So I'm just going to turn this down to a very low simmer and let it cook away for about half an hour, but stirring in between. So we'll come back to that when it's ready. Okay, this has been simmering away now for half an hour, and what I'm going to do now is you can actually just put this into your jars or let it cool and freeze it with the chunks, but I'm going to smooth some of this off and I'm just going to use a hand blender. So this will make a wee bit of a noise. So okay, I've been blending this now and you can see how smooth it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cook this for a further 15 minutes, just on a slow simmer, and then ready to start to jar them up. Now what I've done is I put my jars in the oven for 5 minutes. That kills all the bacteria. And when you're jarring anything, making sure that your ingredients is still hot, and once you put the lid on, it vacuums and seals it inside. So we'll let this cook away again for about, say, 10-15 minutes. Okay, that's cooked away nicely now. So what I'm going to do now is, I've got my jars already, I've lined up the lids, jug for pouring so it's easy to pour in, and my ladle. The variations that you can make with this sauce, you know, chicken, you know, pasta, meatballs, you know, pizza bases. It's just the amount that you get from this. Or you can, when it cools down, pop it in a bag and you can put it into the freezer, or simply just in a container in the fridge for a couple of days, and it'll do for a good couple of days as well. You can even make them into little presents and say, oh, you know, that you made them, your own pasta sauce. Put a label and date on it, obviously, and then that's your pasta sauce. Enjoy!